I'm here today with my good friend Clyde Brundage. And Officer Brundage has been on the Columbus Police Force since what is it? How long is it?
1974.
That's amazing. Like right out of high school, straight, and all this time you've been serving and protecting our city.
Yes.
And so I want to say first from me and then our church family, and I want to say thank you for taking care of our city for 42 years.
Almost, yes.
Almost 42 years, November, right? It'll be
Yes,
42 years in
Mm-hmm.
November. And so the reason we're talking today is because you shared with me about how the death of Keith Slay, who was our church member in our church, and he was a DEA agent with the Columbus Metro Task Force and a pilot for the Columbus Eagle One, the helicopter that was over our city as part of the Narcotics Task Force. About how he is part of our church family and the whole funeral service, how that affected you and your faith and what that meant to you. You told me, like, when you came to Keith's funeral,
Right.
you think it was most of the police department that was there?
If it wasn't most, it was a very good representation.
What was the effect of that on you personally, to see all those people in the room after, at that point, 40 years of working with these people, and especially the younger officers?
When Keith was lost, the first thing I thought about was, where's his soul? Was he ministered to? Has anyone ever told him about the Lord? I think about this a lot with the men and women that I work with.
Right.
Men and women that I know have not embraced the faith.
Right.
And so when at Keith's service, those questions was answered for me for Keith, and he was going to church here and he was producing fruit. The thing is that a lot of officers don't embrace the faith. They may believe, but they've not embraced the faith. And then when something personal happens to someone that you know, you have something that has happened that, how are we going to deal with this? And sometimes people turn to prayer and they turn to God and they're searching for answers, and they don't understand what we've ended up with. And when you were speaking at funeral service, I think that you laid down some very good points about the life and about eternity. And
you said the big picture that you saw that day was that that we're all together, and no matter what has happened, that the big picture was that there's an eternity.
Right. When I have a chance to talk to them, their hearts are not softened or tender.
Okay.
But here,
there
is an opportunity where we have lost someone that we love. We lost our helicopter pilot. The church lost a member, and the family lost their loved one. And so we're all feeling the same type of pain at these levels, and we're searching for a place of comfort. Our hearts were tender, and
that's when the Holy Spirit can move in.
Right.
In those moments.
A pivotal moment.
Yeah. It's that circumstance, and then we sit back as believers and we think, we could have never put this together.
Right.
And we point our faith and our hearts towards God, and the idea that there is an eternity out there, and this circumstance forces and moves me to look to God. And all those officers and all the fire department and the mayor and the chief of police and the city council, and everybody was there. And this circumstance moved us all to look at the eternal nature of really what people like Clyde, Officer Brundage, is doing for our city. And I just want to stop this moment and thank you for your, now in November, will be 42 years of keeping our streets safe, of praying over our city as a believer, and taking care of our families that are here. And thank you for what you've done. And God bless you. Thank you for coming and sharing today of what you experienced and how this pivotal circumstance grew your faith.